Good afternoon, everyone. This is Financial Literacy 101. I'm your host, Ross World. And today we're just going to do a quick video about the HEROES Act. Now, again, we're going to go over what the HEROES Act of 2020 is not, okay? That's what we're going to do because there are so many HEROES Act. And the one they're proposing, it was introduced by the governor, excuse me, not the governor, I believe the congressman, Bill Z. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. I'm just going to go with Bill Z. But we're going to go over to the congress.gov website and we're going to find out what the HEROES Act of 2020 is not. So you guys don't get confused because you'll hear the HEROES Act all day if I don't break this down, or if you don't already know that these are different legislation that was presented to the House for these bills, okay? So let's start off with the first one, which is the HEROES Act, Senate number 2248. So I'm gonna take you over there now. Okay, so we're in congress.gov, as you can see, and this one is for military personnel, the armed services, okay? And we're gonna scroll down here very quickly, and it says the bill to amend Title 10 United States Code to redesignate and expand the Troops to Teachers program and for other purposes. This has nothing to do about healthcare workers, first responders, none of the alike. So if you know anything about the new HEROES Act of 2020, is giving tax credits and benefits to those people who are on the front lines of COVID-19. Now, I did a video earlier today about Patriot Pay, which introduced by Mitt Romney, okay, who is the senator for Utah. So we know it's not this one, but again, this is called HEROES Act. Then the next one is called Honor the HEROES Act of 2019. So we all can get confused. I know I was quite confused, like HEROES Act, and I had to search down all this information. Okay, let's go down to a bill to extend authorization for the September 11th Victim Compensation Fund of 2001 through fiscal year 2025 and for other purposes, right? You have to read this whole bill and go through this. Okay, so it's not that either. All right. So it must be Helping Emergency Responders Overcome Act of 2018. It must be that, right? Because we're talking about first responders, people on the front lines, healthcare workers, etc. So you come down to a bill to require the Secretary of Health and Human Services to improve the detection, prevention, and treatment of mental health issues among public safety officers and for other purposes. That's not quite it, right? Okay, but it did says Helping Emergency Responders Overcome Act, HERO. Okay, that's not it. All right. So now we get into this, right? And this is coming from the WashingtonExaminer.com. And then we're going to go over to the Congressman website, which is a federal government website. This is to support and recognize these incredible and courageous individuals during our nation's time of need. I have introduced the Helping Emergency Responders Overcome Emergency Situations Act. The HEROES Act will create a four-month federal income tax holiday for healthcare workers and first responders battling the coronavirus. This legislation is modeled after the tax holiday our military service members receive while they are actively serving in the combat zone. So that is what this bill is about. Now, granted, Patriot Pay is similar to this. If you look at my earlier video that I released, it's very similar to this. I have no issues with none of these bills. All of these healthcare workers risking their lives, risking their family lives, they deserve all of this. But again, if they believe that I wish, right? If they believe that $1,200 is enough money to cover the amount of months that a lot of us are behind on our bills, unfortunately, federal government, you're absolutely wrong. How about this? All the tax money I paid, because I forgot how much I paid in taxes, and it was over $10,000 I paid in taxes. And I only received $159 in a refund. And some of you like, well, I didn't receive anything, but just give me half of that back. Moving right along. All right. Bill Z. I'm just going to call him Bill Z. I don't want to butcher the guy's name, okay? So this was introduced to the House, I believe on April 3rd, okay? And again, this is called the Helping Emergency Responders Overcome Emergency Situations Act of 2020. This act will provide a 4-month federal income tax holiday for medical professionals and first responders in counties with at least one positive COVID-19 patient, including law enforcement officers, correction officers, firefighters, EMTs, paramedics, pharmacists, nurses, nurse practitioners, physician assistants, doctors, hospital and licensed medical facility support staff. So if you in a hospital and they got COVID-19, you're coming in there sanitizing, decontaminating, those spores and all those viruses within a hospital. That includes you. It says hospital and licensed medical facility support staff and senior care facility staff during the coronavirus outbreak. Okay, so this is what that bill is for them. I was looking for it. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, I can't find the actual details, which I know that some of you actually want to know. But essentially, again, this doesn't encompass us all. And I know they got to do different bills, introduce different bills to the House in order to get those people relief as well. But here's the thing. If we don't get something for the entire country, we're already in a recession. We don't get something for the entire country, then they may not be taking care of nobody because nobody's going to have any money, any sort of support to even provide for their families. That's just my perspective. I'm not saying don't give these people their just due. They deserve everything. Okay, everything. They're going into a highly contaminated environment, and they're putting on PPE, a gown, a hospital gown, a face shield, even eye goggles, and an N95 mask. Now, this is the first time I ever gave this information out to anyone, okay? Anyone on YouTube. So you're going to hear it here first. My background, okay, I used to be in the Marine Corps, and I used to be in the Army. For the last 16 years in the Army, I was what you call a CBRN NCO, So I dealt with chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear warfare agents and substances and materials. That is my job. Let me tell you something. Anytime we went on a mission, we didn't wear nothing near that. We wore encapsulated suits, okay, called level A suits, the highest level of protection, because in that level A suit, we have a breathing apparatus on. It's called self-contained breathing apparatus, the same thing that people use when they go scuba diving. So we have our own oxygen with that in an encapsulated suit. They're called level A. The level down from that, which we never went, was level B. Level B was a Ty-Chem suit that we wrapped in chem tape with at least 3 to 5 pairs of gloves on. We will have a pair of nitrile gloves on. Then we will have a pair of butyls, those big black chemical gloves. Then we have at least 2 more pair of nitriles on, those blue gloves, those blue or black gloves you see. So we have anywhere from 3 to 5 layers of protection for our hands. And then we have on chemical warfare agent boots. That's our ankles, our wrists, and also around our pro mask, our protective mask, okay? M50 mask. They have the 2 small filters which are contained inside of canister. So we are going into situations like that. And some of you will say, oh, well, you're dealing with highly deadly viruses and chemicals on a warfare level, so you need the highest level of protection. You're right. But the point about this is these healthcare workers, these doctors, nurses, medical facility workers are getting infected. Okay, nurses are getting infected. They're being exposed to this virus over and over again. And guess what? No one's perfect. Eventually, something's going to happen. And a lot of these nurses have been contracting COVID-19. So I don't want to take nothing away from what they're doing. My only argument is give them their just due. But simultaneously, at the same time, can we get it too? I know numerous of people who need, at this moment, who've never asked the federal government for anything. They always pay their taxes, but now they need their support. They need their help. And granted, guess what? If they think that most Americans want to sit home and do nothing, think again. I would like to believe that most Americans want to go out and work for their money. I know I do. I don't just want to sit idly by at home, watch Netflix, watch Disney Plus, watch Hulu, watch Amazon Prime, watch YouTube TV, watch Vudu. I know all of them, right? But I don't want to sit home and like, okay, what happens when we watch all the TV shows? So we need some sort of relief to sustain our life, because guess what? Each state is now governing itself, AKA that's why they have a governor. See, governors are just like the president of that state, okay, on the state level. But here's the thing. States are governing themselves in phases of how they're going to open up their states. Because the president's like, you know what? I spoke prematurely last time. You guys do it. You guys handle it. So if it backfires on you, not me. And I got it, because essentially he don't really have too much power over the state governments, right? Unless he enforced martial law because of a pandemic. That's another story. But the point I want to make to you this is there's people protesting in certain states. They're going to the Congress. They're going to their congressmen downtown building, going to their government's downtown building, and they're going in there with guns. And they're not showing a level of force. They're just holding guns, basically saying, hey, open back up the state. Why do you think they're doing that? Why do you think people are trying to intimidate their state government, their federal government, to let them go back to work? That's because the $1,200 was nothing. It was nothing. Okay. It was like giving you a cup inside of a cruise ship that's sinking and talking about it. No, it's not going to help you. It's not going to save your life. It's not going to put you afloat. That $1,200 for most people, soon as they got it, vanished right before their eyes. It vanished because they had bills they had to pay, lights they had to turn on, food they had to buy. In certain areas, they had to buy their own water. So I want you to think about that. This has nothing to do with those medical care workers, those police officers, those first responders who are risking their lives in order for other people to be safe and for them to get help and support at medical facilities. The only thing I am saying is, while you guys are proposing this legislation to the House, can you support Tim Ryan, who did the $2,000 a month, $4,000 a month if you're married? Can you support Ilhan Omar, Rent and Mortgage Cancellation Act? Can you guys support that bill? Because if you go on congress.gov, it shows you who are co-sponsors of that bill. So if you guys just want to have a little fun on your Sunday after you came from church or any activities that you were involved with today, you got 10, 15 minutes, go on congress.gov and see who are supporting which bills. So, because sometimes we may get involved in political foreplay, okay? Political foreplay where everybody's introducing these really extravagant, really aggressive bills, but you guys are not supporting your own bills, meaning that this bill helped this group, this bill helps this group. I just need a bill that's going to help the American people so we can at least sustain life and a certain standard of living during this crisis. Because here's the thing, and I'm about to end. If you want people to stay in their homes, if you want people to be isolated, if you want people to be quarantined, if you want people to be fat, happy, and go lucky, then give them money. Because here's the thing. People are going out finding other jobs that they can work. I've seen traffic increase by 100% in the last 2 weeks here in Washington State. Prior to that, it was a ghost town. People are getting out. Either they're going to the park with their kids, their dogs, or they're finding jobs, or they're working. They're trying to figure out how to get money in their pockets, because guess what? In this time, I don't even believe that the House actually met. So all these bills that has been proposed, this legislation, I looked on congress.gov, all of these were proposed in April, early April. Some month it went past and nothing has happened. So If you didn't know what the HEROES Act of 2020 is, now you know, and not to be confused with all the others. If you like this video, guys, give it a thumbs up. If you like the information you hear, go ahead and subscribe to this channel. I give you updates about everything that's stimulus, that involving the pandemic, COVID-19 that we're actually going through. And I have hundreds of videos to help you save your money, invest your money, raise your credit score, and get out of debt. This is Financial Literacy 101. Learn money and be inspired. You guys have a great and wonderful day. I'm out.